These are the 15 car features quietly killing your reliability, and most drivers don't even realize it. They seem smart, sleek, even luxurious, but behind the touchscreen controls and sensor-packed systems, trouble. Glitchy gear shifters, parking brakes that trap you, voice commands that fail when it matters most. They're the hidden failure points that can leave you stranded and cost thousands to fix. Think your car's high-tech features are helping? Some of them are doing the exact opposite. Let's get into it. Number 15. Touchscreen-only controls. Touchscreens were supposed to simplify things. Instead, they've made basic controls needlessly complicated and way less reliable. Need to change the temperature? You have to dig through 3 layers of menus. Need defrost? Good luck in a snowstorm with a frozen UI. Everything climate, radio, seat heat is now locked behind glass. When that screen fails, your car loses functionality. One owner reported being stuck without AC or even hazard lights when their infotainment froze mid-drive. That's not just annoying, that's dangerous. And here's the worst part, it's expensive. Replacing a modern center display can cost over $2,000, and they're not built to last. Heat, cold, or a spilled drink is enough to kill the whole unit. Old buttons worked every time. It's a touchscreen failure waiting to happen. Number 14. Electronic gear selectors. Electronic shifters aren't just annoying, they're dangerous. Rotary dials, push buttons, or sliders might look clean, but they remove the one thing you actually need when shifting: feedback. No clicks, no muscle memory, just a guessing game. Chrysler's rotary shifter caused real accidents. People thought they were in park, got out, and their car rolled away. That's not innovation, that's bad design. When these systems glitch, you might not be able to shift at all, or worse, the car tells you you're in gear, but it's not. And in an emergency, good luck fumbling through buttons while trying to reverse. You're trusting electronics, screens, and sensors just to change gears. If any part of that chain fails, you're stranded. A mechanical lever never needed updates or software patches. These overcomplicated designs just added risk and cost. Number 13. Electronic parking brakes. Remember when your parking brake was just a lever? You pulled it and it worked. Now it's a motor, a button, and a whole system that can fail for no reason. Electronic parking brakes are convenient until the motor seizes or the sensor goes bad, or your battery dies and traps you in park. And if the brake engages while driving, you could do real damage. These systems also require special tools just to service. What used to be a 5-minute job now costs $300+ at the dealership. And if the motor fails completely, you're looking at $600 or more. Owners report random failures after battery changes, cold weather issues, and even sudden lockups. Manufacturers call it progress, but in reality, it's just one more thing to go wrong, all for a part that worked fine with a $5 cable. Number 12. Start-stop systems. Your car shuts off at every red light. You think it's saving gas, but it's actually hammering your starter, draining your battery, and wearing out your engine. Start-stop systems weren't made for drivers. They're made for automakers to pass emissions tests. In real-world driving, the fuel savings are tiny, but the wear and tear, huge. Consumer Reports found that cars with these systems burn through batteries up to 40 times faster. Starters fail earlier, oil pressure drops every time the engine stops and restarts, and that slight lag when the light turns green, that's your car scrambling to come back to life. Some Honda owners even reported getting stuck in traffic because the system wouldn't restart. In disabling it, some cars don't let you. Others reset it every time you turn the car off. It's not a feature, it's a ticking time bomb tied to your ignition. Number 11. Dual clutch transmissions, DCTs. On paper, DCTs sound like a dream, lightning-fast shifts and sporty performance. In reality, they're jerky in traffic, expensive to fix, and prone to failure. Instead of a traditional automatic, dual clutch systems use 2 manual-style gearboxes controlled by a computer. And when that computer gets confused, you face hesitation, hard shifts, and stalls. Ford's PowerShift transmission was so bad, it triggered multiple lawsuits and billion-dollar payouts. Hyundai and Kia drivers have also reported overheating, clutch failures, and cars that just refuse to move. In stop-and-go traffic, these transmissions behave like a rookie stick-shift driver, lurching, stalling, and overheating. And when they go bad, you're looking at $2,500 to $4,000 in repairs, not to mention tow bills when the car won't move. Unless you're tracking your car on weekends, a DCT is just an overpriced headache pretending to be high-performant. Number 10. Panoramic glass roofs. They look sleek. They let in sunlight. They also leak, crack, overheat your cabin, and cost a fortune to replace. Panoramic roofs are one of the least practical luxury features on modern cars. The glass gets scorching hot in summer. Even with shades, it turns your interior into an oven. In winter, the seals shrink and leaks begin. And it's not just about temperature. These roofs compromise structural rigidity and weigh more than steel. In a rollover, that massive glass panel is a liability. When they crack, and they do, the cost can be upwards to $3,000. Some aren't repairable at all and require full roof replacement. Forum after forum is filled with stories of water-stained headliners, cracked liners, failed drain tubes, and massive bills. All for a feature that doesn't open, doesn't cool, and doesn't make your car drive any better. It's a glass ceiling nobody asked for. Number 9. Lane Keeping Assist is supposed to keep you centered on the road. Instead, it jerks the wheel when you least expect it, or does absolutely nothing when you need it most. These systems rely on cameras and sensors to detect lane markings, but faded paint, bad weather, or direct sunlight can confuse them instantly. Some drivers report car ping-ponging between lines or randomly tugging the wheel mid-turn. In one Acura MDX forum, an owner reported the system disabling cruise control and lane assist simultaneously due to a faulty camera on the freeway. Some cars barely intervene at all, making the features useless. Others overcorrect, causing you to fight your own steering wheel. And here's the irony. The more you rely on it, the less attention you're paying, which makes it even more dangerous when it malfunctions. Most drivers end up disabling it. That should tell you everything you need to know. Number 8. Voice command systems. Say a word, get the wrong result. Repeat yourself louder, still wrong. Welcome to modern voice recognition in cars. These systems promise hands-free control, but in reality, they turn simple tasks into comedy routines. Say, call mom, and it dials Pizza Hut. Ask for AC, and it opens navigation. It's frustrating, slow, and often just doesn't work. J.D. Power ranks voice command among the top complaints in new vehicles, even worse than touchscreen issues. Some drivers give up entirely after a few failed attempts, going back to physical buttons just to avoid yelling at their car. But in a real emergency, misinterpreted voice commands aren't just annoying, they're dangerous. If your hands are on the wheel and your eyes on the road, your car should help you, not argue with you. Voice control sounds smart, but most systems just aren't ready for real-world use. Number 7. Gesture controls. Swipe up to turn up the volume, wave to skip a song. Sounds cool, right? Until your car cranks the heat because you scratched your nose. Gesture controls are one of the most pointless innovations in modern cars. The sensors can't tell the difference between an intentional command and a casual hand movement, and that's a real problem when driving. One sudden gesture and your settings can go haywire. Music blares, climate changes, navigation cancels. You're not in control. Your car thinks you're conducting an orchestra. And unlike physical buttons, there's no feedback. You just wave and hope the system understood. Spoiler, it usually didn't. It's also one more thing to break. And when it glitches, you're stuck waving your arms like an idiot just to turn down the radio. This is technology for the sake of marketing, not for actual function. Number 6. Wireless charging pads. Drop your phone on the pad and nothing, or worse, it overheats. That's the reality of wireless charging in most cars. These pads sound convenient, but they're finicky and unreliable. Your phone has to be positioned perfectly or it won't charge at all. Add a case or a bump in the road, charging stops, but the pad still cooks your phone with heat. That heat isn't harmless either. It can damage your battery, warp your phone case, or in rare cases, spark a fire. Some automakers have already issued recalls over overheating pads. And they are slow, like painfully slow. You can plug your phone in with a $10 cable and charge it twice as fast without the fire risk. You're paying for a feature that's less efficient, less safe, and fails more often than it works. It's not wireless convenience, it's wireless frustration. Number 5. Digital gauge clusters. Digital dashes look sharp until they stop working. Then you're left driving blind. Unlike old analog gauges that showed speed, fuel, and warnings with simple needles and lights, digital clusters depend on screens, software, and dozens of sensors. If one thing fails, a circuit, a black light, a sensor, you lose everything. No speedometer, no fuel gauge, no engine warning light. Just a blank screen, or worse, a frozen display that shows all the wrong info. And it's not cheap to fix. You're looking at $1,000 to $2,500 just to replace what used to be a couple of dials. Drivers also complain about clutter. Instead of a clear readout, you get multiple menus, icons, and customizable themes that often make things less readable. This is another example of over-design. Analog worked for decades. Digital fails in 5. Number 4. Turbocharged 3-cylinder engines. Tiny engines with turbos might save gas on paper, but they're working double time just to keep up. More heat, more pressure, more stress on internal parts. These 1.0-liter and 1.3-liter turbo 3-cylinders are being dropped into SUVs and sedans that used to run on solid 4 cylinders. and it's showing. Ford's EcoBoost 1.0 liter faced early timing belt failures. BMW's 3-cylinder Minis are known for vibration and oil burning. In general, these engines wear out faster and sound rougher and aren't built for long-haul reliability. And when they fail, you're dealing with turbo plumbing, intercoolers, and sensors, not to mention $3,000 plus engine jobs. They're fine when new, but hit 70,000 miles, that's when the fun ends. You're not just downsizing fuel use, you're downsizing reliability. Number 3. Heated and cooled seats. Heated seats sound like comfort until they stop working, or worse, overheat and burn you. These systems rely on thin wires and tiny fans hidden inside your seat padding. Over time, those wires snap, the sensors fail, or the fans clog with dust. Suddenly, your luxury feature just doesn't respond. Many drivers report the seat lights turning on with no actual heat. Others deal with random overheating. Some seats get too hot. They've caused burns and, yes, lawsuits. If you want to fix it, get ready to remove the entire seat. Order proprietary heating elements and pay anywhere from $600 to $1,200 depending on your car. And because these systems are buried under layers of upholstery, one spilled coffee or torn seam can short them out completely. A feature meant to keep you warm could end up burning through your wallet. Number 2. Auto-deploying door handles. Pop-out door handles look slick until they get stuck or freeze or leave you locked in the cold. Tesla's flush handles are infamous for failing in winter. Owners report using hair dryers just to open the car. Jaguar and Range Rover have similar issues, with motors failing or handles refusing to deploy at all. When the battery dies, forget it. Many of these systems don't have a visible backup. You're locked out unless you know the hidden trick buried in the manual. And who reads that? Even worse, when these handles fail, they don't just inconvenience you. They can trap first responders in an accident. If they can't figure out how to open the door, that's a real problem. All this to replace something that already worked flawlessly for 100 years, a metal handle. This is designed for looks, not for life. And number 1, keyless entry and push-button start. It's the feature everyone loves. Keyless entry and push-button start were meant to be the future, but today, they're a thief's best friend and a mechanic's cash cow. Relay attacks let criminals copy your key signal from your house and drive away without even smashing a window. No alarms, no noise, just gone. And when the key fob battery dies, good luck. Some cars won't start, some won't unlock, others go into full panic mode. Replacement fobs can cost $300 to $600, plus programming fees. One glitch, and your entire car becomes a paperweight. You can't start it, you can't shift. Sometimes you can't even tow it without jumping through security hoops. Old school keys cost $5. Never needed an update, never got hacked. We traded convenience for chaos. These features look good on paper. Some even feel high-end at first, but long-term, they're a reliability nightmare. Every gimmick adds more sensors, more electronics, more failure points. And when they break, they don't just ruin your day, they drain your wallet. Which is that one feature that drives you crazy? And which one failed you first on your car? Drop it in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, give it a like and hit subscribe for more real car talk. Thanks for watching. See you next time.